Today, we're going to share a little secret of high achievers: consistency. That's right, consistency is the key to success, and I'm going to show you how to stay on track and achieve your goals like a pro. But before we dive into it, if you haven't already written your goals, make sure to check out my previous video where I walk you through the step-by-step process of goal setting. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Alright, let's get started. There are three parts to achieving a goal. One is define what you want, the second is constantly focus on the goal, and the third one is clear the resistance that results from focus on the goal. We already did the number 1 and 2 step by step in previous videos. If you really think about it, all successful people advise you to define what you want and to constantly focus on it, right? But the third one I learned from a book called Time is Money. The reason why so many people have trouble doing the things they want to do is because of resistance. The bottom line is that you need to clear or resolve the resistance in order to take action. To put it on simply, if you can resolve the resistance, you can have almost anything you desire. Let me repeat this again. It's the most important component. If you can resolve your resistance, you can almost achieve anything you want. Defining what you want and even focusing on it daily is easy. The hard part is dealing with the resistance that results from this. Now, what is resistance? Resistance can show up in many forms: fear, anger, anxiety, frustration, confusion, feeling tired, you name it. If you have trouble doing the things you want to do, you have resistance to doing that thing or things. Of course, anyone will eventually achieve their goal if they persist, but most won't, because it will be insanely difficult due to the fact that they will be resolving resistance in the material world. You know what will happen? You will get sick, get a flu, difficulties and hardships will materialize on your life, calamities, etc. If you can get through it, means that you have resolved your resistance. Why? Because all of this means nothing more than materialized resistance. For example, many people, like me included, use the willpower method. We want to do something and we feel we have to force ourselves to do it. Set a goal to lose pounds for the summer, force yourself to wake up early, then force yourself to go to the gym, then force yourself to restrict your calories, then force yourself to eat something healthy. You get the point. This is why it's so darn difficult in achieving anything in the face of resistance. There are very few people on this planet that can push through the pain of resistance. I assure you, if you are watching this video, you are not someone who can overcome resistance with discipline. What makes using willpower a bad method for procrastinators is that every time you fail at something, you are giving your subconscious evidence that you can't do it. You are creating a failure loop. Whenever you set out to do something, your subconscious will say, well, this is a waste of time, you won't follow through on this, just like everything else. What happens next? You try to do something, you tell yourself, this time I'm going to be different. You force yourself to do it, and after a few days or weeks, you stop. You only reinforcing to your subconscious that yes, you don't finish what you start. Very common, not very effective. You only have so much willpower, and everything you have to make yourself to do drains the willpower tank. This is why you are able to force yourself to do something in the beginning, but after a while, you just can't do it anymore. Willpower is a must for getting you started on a new behavior, but most people bite off more than they can chew, never having enough willpower long term to keep consistent in order to develop that behavior into a habit. Now, how can we overcome resistance? Here's the step-by-step process with examples. First, identify your goals and desired outcomes. For example, you want to start a blog and become a successful blogger. Second will be understanding your resistance. For example, you might feel afraid of failure or lack of confidence on your writing abilities, leading to resistance towards starting the blog. The step 3 is break down your goals into a smaller task. For example, instead of focusing on starting the whole blog, break it down into a smaller task like choosing a domain name, setting up a website, and writing your first blog post. The step number 4 will be address the indifference. For For example, you are gonna remind yourself of the reasons why you want to start the blog. Here's where your why and purpose statement comes, such as sharing your knowledge, expressing creativity, or earning more passive income. The next step will be eliminate distraction. For example, create a dedicated workspace free from distractions. Firms, get away from your cell phone, lock it somewhere. If you work with your computer, use productivity tools like website blockers and establish a focused work schedule. The step 6 will tackle indecision. For example, set deadlines for each task. Prioritize them based on importance and make decisions quickly without overthinking. It's like determining each. The step 7 will be confront anxiety and fear. Example, practice self-compassion and positive self-talk. I usually stop for a moment, close my eyes, breathe 4 seconds, inhaling, retain 4 seconds, and then exhaling 4 seconds. And I visualize success to alleviate my fear of failure. You can meditate, hear something, and listen to relaxing music. Be creative here. Whatever works best for you. The step 8 will be seek support and accountability. For example, you can share your goals with a friend or with a group of friends, join a blogging community for encouragement and feedback, or hire a coach to keep you accountable. The step number 9 will be take action consistently. For example, now we know we're gonna commit on working on our blog and set amount of time each day, even if it's just 10 minutes, to build momentum and overcome resistance. The step number 10 will be reflect and adjust. Regularly evaluate your progress, celebrate small wins, and adjust your approach as needed based on what is working and what is not. For example, if 10 minutes is too much, you can reduce to 5. The less resistance, the better. Once you become aware of what you are doing, start rewarding your awareness of that behavior. Your brain loves rewards. In this video, I share ways to give yourself rewards for everything positive you do. Until next time. Keep striving, keep growing, keep connecting, and above all, keep sharing your life. Take care.